It is sad when criticism comes your way. It is all the more sad when you do not know how to describe that criticism. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ridan and I welcome you all with a very big heart on Let's Talk. In today's lesson, we will talk about how we can describe various different acts of criticism. So let's look at the first one in the list, bone idle. Let's see what it means. It means extremely lazy. What is bone? Bone is how many bones are there? There are many bones in our body. And this has actually come from there. Bone idle is a person who actually does not use his or her bone, to do the daily chores, to do the daily work. That person is extremely lazy. For example, don't be a bone idle. Just go out and see what is happening in the world. This is one sentence that a mother could be saying to her son or daughter, that don't be a bone idle. Go out there and see what all is happening in the world. Don't sit at one place. Explore the world. Don't be lazy. Please use this word to talk about people who are really lazy, or if you have to describe someone who does not do any work at all, that's when you can use this word and say bone idle. The next one on the list is slippery customer. Slippery customer is a phrase that you can use it for anybody, be it at school, be it a real customer, or be it someone in family. For example, it means one who cannot be trusted. It is a person. Please do not misunderstand it with a customer, that it can only be used for a customer. No, it can be used for any person, anybody who can't be trusted. For example, the teacher said Karen, a student in class, is a slippery customer that can't be trusted. So there's a student in class, and the teacher is probably talking about her in the PTM, parent-teacher meeting, and she's saying that she's a slippery customer. She is a student that can't be trusted for the things that she does. The next in the list is pick a fight. What is pick a fight? I think you have guessed it right. It means to provoke a fight. Let's see how we can use it. Jack is very short-tempered. He picks a fight wherever he goes. Jack is a person who gets angry very easily, and he gets into fights easily as well. And so we are saying he picks a fight wherever he goes. Do you have a person who picks a fight wherever he goes? Please do let me know. The next one is hold in contempt. What is hold in contempt? Contempt is a word that comes from sadness, that comes from hatred, that comes of you disliking something. And when you dislike something and you hold that feeling with you, what is that feeling called? It is to despise. That means to not like something, to be standing up in against of that thing. For example, you have misunderstood him in calling you a monster. So cute. So somebody called you a monster and you started to despise that person. So you're saying, don't hold him in contempt. That means do not hold him in your bad books. Do not dislike him or her for that. If it is said, it could be a mistake. So hold in contempt is to dislike something, to stand up in against of something. Next one is take the flak. What is take the flak? Take the flak is strongly criticized, something that is strongly not supported. For example, he gets a lot of flack for the wrong decisions he made insofar in his life about his career. So, for example, there's a person who made all the wrong choices, in his life in relation to the career choices that he made. And because of that, he gets a lot of flack. When you give a flack, it is different. But when you take the flack, it is different. So remember to use it correctly. If somebody criticizes you, you take the flack. But if you criticize somebody, then you give the flack. Let's move on to the next one in the list of describing criticism. Next one is disruptive influence. Influence is somebody's effect on someone. Disruptive is related to something that is bad, not appropriate, not right. It means someone who encourages others to behave in a negative way. Encouragement, negative. So we can say disruptive influence is a negative encouragement. For example, I don't want my child to sit with someone who could have the most disruptive influence on him. So probably a parent is saying this to, let's say, a teacher, and the parent is saying, I would not want my child to sit with somebody who would have a disruptive influence on my child. So in order to describe negative influence, negative encouragement, you can say disruptive influence. Please do use it to describe criticism of negative influence, and that is disruptive influence. The next one in the list is blame rests with. What is blame rests with? Everybody knows what is a blame. Blame is something that you do which is wrong, and everybody starts to point at you because you are the sole reason because of that wrong thing happened. And so it means it is the fault of. That means it was your fault. Let's see how we can use it. The final blame rests with the pilot who let the child sit in the cockpit. That means that something wrong must have happened, hopefully not a crash. Something wrong must have happened. Why? Because the pilot allowed the child to sit in the cockpit. So the final blame rests. Blame rests with the pilot. Next one is shirk responsibilities. So it's like shaking off responsibilities, right, off the shoulders. It is equivalent to that, but slightly different. It means pay no attention to responsibilities. Whatever responsibilities we have, we do not fulfill them. We could be a parent, you could be a sister or a brother, you could be anybody or a teacher for that matter. And the example is related to a teacher actually. It says, you are a teacher who can't shirk responsibilities of taking care of students' privacy or, let's say, safety is again very, very important here. As a teacher, I can't shirk responsibilities of taking care of my students' safety. Wherever they go, let's say on a picnic, I cannot let them go and do that. This was all about shirk responsibilities. And the next one is totally out of order. What is totally out of order? Very inappropriate, not suitable for the occasion. For example, your dress tonight is totally out of order. What is totally out of order? Very inappropriate. The dress that you wore tonight, it was a wedding and you were wearing a skirt at a wedding. It was, let's say, an Indian wedding. It was an Indian wedding and you were wearing a business skirt on an Indian wedding. It was totally out of order. It was totally inappropriate. Next one is downright disgrace. It means absolutely disgraceful, something that wasn't appropriate, something that is frowned upon, something that people think is very, very bad. It is a downright disgrace to see him peeing on street in public. One more time. It is a downright disgrace to see him peeing on street in public. Very, very bad. One mustn't do that. So please make sure that you're not one of those people who do such an act. And finally, we have cloud judgment. What is it? Cloud judgment. So it's more like a cloud, and it means affect judgment negatively. Whenever you make a negative impression of somebody's personality or anything in your head, that's when you're actually clouding judgment. And that's when we use the phrase cloud your judgment negatively about that person or a thing. Don't cloud your judgment about his creativity so quickly. Don't cloud his judgment. For example, if somebody is creative, it could be in a positive way or in a negative way. The person is saying, do not cloud the creativity so quickly in a negative way. The next one is minor niggles, and it means small complaints. Somebody that keeps on nagging all the time. It means we mustn't do that apparently. And how can we use that? Stop your minor niggles. You should appreciate the food offered to you at the temple. So somebody is probably talking about how inappropriate the food is or what is missing in the food. And a sensible person is saying, stop your minor niggles and appreciate the food that is offered to you in a temple because it is ambrosia, because it is sacred. And so do not speak negative of it. This was all about the phrases that you can use in relation to criticism. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do let me know what are your top 3 favorite phrases when it comes to describing different types of criticisms that we have spoken about in this lesson. Thank you very much, and may all your wishes come true.